وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: من أيام أعظم عند الله ولا أحب إلى الله العمل فيهن من أيام العشر، فأكثروا فيهن من التسبيح والتحميد والتهليل والتكبير. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم، نحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the blessings that He has given us. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the blessings of health and wealth. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the blessings of Iman and Islam. Not too long ago, we were preparing for the month of Ramadan, and as the month came, we increased our ibadah, we increased our good deeds, and our spirituality was at a high, inshallah, that it was not at before. The fortunate amongst us was able to continue those ibadat and continue those good deeds even until this day. And now, we're in the month of Dhul-Hijjah, where many of us might have planned last year or years ago to go on this blessed journey of Hajj. But as we all know, the current situation that we are in hindered that plan. But that doesn't mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not give us any other opportunities to do good deeds. Not at all. Not every single year does every single person go on Hajj. That's not the case. So as the Islamic year is coming to an end, it's up to us to end this year, as we say, with a bang. End this year at a spiritual high, so that we can gain that closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, in the Islamic calendar, there are 4 months that are known as Ashhur al-Hurum, as a sacred months. We don't have time to discuss every single month, but for our time's sake, this month that we're in, the month of Dhul-Hijjah, the month of Hajj, was for once those 4 months. And the Arabs, even in the pre-Islamic era, considered these 4 months as sacred. Now, granted, they used to switch off the months, some did it in this month, and some years they would do it in that month. They would switch it off for their own desires and own benefit. But it has a sacred, understanding in our deen as well. And not every year do we have the blessed opportunity to go on Hajj. Alhamdulillah, we as a family were blessed to go to Hajj with our parents. And little did we know, that was the last Dhul-Hijjah that our beloved father would see. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plans and we plan. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most definitely the best of planners. Now, these first 10 days of Dhul-Hijjah are amongst the most magnificent days of the Islamic calendar. So much so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about these 10 days, these specific 10 days in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't give every single detail about every single story in the Quran. You might see, like, for example, the story of Musa alayhi salam quoted in different places. The story of Shu'aib, the story of Noah. It doesn't mention all the details. It mentions certain specific details. That's because He wants you to pay attention to those details of those stories. So same thing here, in the beginning of Surah Fajr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes an oath, wal-fajr, wa-layalin ashr. He takes an oath by these 10 days. Now it says layal, yeah, sure, I know that means night. But in the Arabic language, night and days are sometimes used interchangeably. So there are many hikmahs, there's many wisdoms that we can derive from these verses, especially these verses in Surah Al-Fajr. One thing that we can think about is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave us this month of Dhul-Hijjah, a few months for the month of Ramadan, to see how is our spiritual state now in comparison to how it was in Ramadan. Because we all know in Ramadan, mashallah, we're in a spiritual high. But how is it in comparison now? What is our spiritual state? The Prophet ﷺ, he said that one fast during these blessed days of Dhul Hijjah is equal to the fast of 1 year. And one night of worship, one of these blessed nights is equal to the worship of Laylatul Qadr. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, he narrates that the Prophet ﷺ said that there is no day in which righteous deeds are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than in these days. Now, when somebody says righteous deeds or ibadah, the first thing that might come to our mind is performing salah, doing some azkar, going to hajj, giving charity. Sure, those are ibadat, most definitely. However, we cannot forget about the rights that we have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost, and then also the rights that people have upon us. So you may be praying salah, you may be giving charity, you may be doing qurbani, you may be going for hajj, but you might not have the best relationship with your spouse, your child, your brother, your sister. That's going to affect, most definitely that's going to affect your single pointed focus in regards to worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's going to affect it. So, just like we try to increase our ibadah during these months in regards to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's worship, we also want to increase our good deeds with your fellow Muslims as well. Now, nobody said it's going to be easy. No, nobody said being Muslim is easy. One other side point in regards to these days, Ibn Qayyim, he mentions that most definitely the last 10 nights of Ramadan are more blessed than the 10 nights of Dhul Hijjah. However, the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, the daytime of Dhul Hijjah, is more blessed than the daytime of Ramadan. Now, we always hear how the Prophet and the Sahaba, they tightened their belts and they took their ibadah on another level during this time of, during the last 10 nights of Ramadan. We always see that. But what about in these 10 days of Dhul Hijjah? Sa'id ibn Jubair, he says that, or it said about him, that when these 10 days would enter, اجتهد اجتهادا حتى لا يكاد يقدر عليه, that he would tighten his belt and he his ibadah on the next level, so much so that he could not do anymore. So doing more ibadah is not just for the month of Ramadan, but also for the month of Dhul Hijjah. My time is up, but I want to leave you with 3 points, inshallah. Number one is, I want you to fast as many days as you can for these blessed days of Dhul Hijjah. Most importantly, the day of Arafah, which is on July 30th. Because fasting on the day of Arafah it allows you to forgive last year's sins and the upcoming year's sins as well. That's number one. Number two is reciting tasbih, tahmeed, tahleel, and takbir. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, as many times as you can. And number three is do any ibadah that you have not done in a while. For example, this will be unique from person to person. Choose a different ibadah every single day. An example of this could be connecting ties with a relative that you have not talked to in a while. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to implement. There's a few guidelines I was asked by the administrations to share. Number one is please come with your mask and your prayer rugs for your salawat and Eid salah. Number two, the weather area, the washroom is still closed. Number three, the masjid will have marked musallas designed for each to place their own prayer rug to maintain social distancing at all times. So please listen to the volunteers. They're doing it for your own benefit. Number four is pray your sunnahs for both before and after the salah at home. We have Jummah salah after this as well, another Jummah salah. Number five 5 is children under 10 are not allowed at the masjid in the current situation. Number 6, anyone that has any underlying medical conditions are requested to stay home. And number 7, please do not socialize in the masjid. As for Eid prayers, there will be 5 Eid prayers. First one will be at 6, second will be at 7, third one will be at 8, fourth one will be at 9 a.m., and the fifth one will be at 10 a.m. The cost for sponsoring a goat for Udhiyah is $290. For more options, inshallah, you can contact IE, and all this information can be found in the newsletter.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة